Hello, 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 hello. Happy Friday night. Welcome to my Zen Den. I am so happy that you could join me tonight. My name is Mandy VanHavermaet, and I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! From Gray Eagle, Minnesota. I feel like I'm really low. Sit up, lady. I'm from Gray Eagle, Minnesota, and I am so excited to have you with me tonight. I'm going to be talking about a new suite of products that Stampin' Up! Has released. It is actually the bundle. The main bundle is going to be in the new catalog that comes out in January, so January 4th. So they're kind of skipping ahead a little bit, but then they are also, they released some designer series paper and another stamp set that's going with this. That is actually, the stamp set is a Christmas stamp set, and the designer series paper is so beautiful. So it's called Fitting Florets. So I'm going to turn the camera around. Hi, Joyce. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to turn the camera around and we are going to dig into this suite. So hold on just 1 second. Whoops, sorry about that. There we go. All right. I hope everybody has been having a good week so far. It's been busy at my house. It's been busy at work. So it's been kind of crazy, but I did get in to do a little bit of this, play with this suite a little bit, which I was very excited about. So this is the entire collection. This is kind of the graphic that they have to go with it. Here's the actual individual items. So, and I'll go through each one. So the Framed Florets stamp set, that's this stamp set. This is the one, it will be released in the catalog in January. Very beautiful fonts and beautiful flowers. Wishes for a beautiful birthday. Thank you with all my heart. So lucky to call you friend. A special person, for a special person on a special day. Just a little reminder that you are loved, and celebrate. And it's a photopolymer stamp set. And then it's got dies that go with it. So the dies are really, really cool. They're ovals, which are fantastic, and they kind of work together, and I'll kind of go through a little bit of that with you. These three dies here are separate, standalone, like some greenery things, and then these dies cut out the images on the stamps as well, or the stamped images. So the labels are just very, very cool though. There's lots of details in them. Remember last week I did this shaker card. This here cuts out a lot of little hearts that would make beautiful confetti for inside shaker cards. Just saying, it might happen sometime. So very, very cool dies that go with this stamp set, that coordinate with. And so then the parts that will be, this stamp set and the dies will be coming out, and they'll be available in the next catalog. The part that's only available while supplies last is this. It's the Framed and Festive Stamp Set. This is a red rubber stamp set, but awesome, awesome fonts. They kind of coordinate, well, they do coordinate with the fonts, excuse me, in the Framed Florets stamp set, but they're Christmas themed. So we've got Merry Christmas, Fa La La, 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly, From Our Home to Yours, From All of Us, Noel, May this season be filled with peace and joy, and have yourself a merry little Christmas. Really a fun stamp set. Goes with a lot of different, goes really well with the ovals, but goes with a lot of different designs as well, different thinlits and punches and things like that. So it's a really great stamp set. Then these, what are we calling them? Gold Adhesive-Backed Swirls. They also are for a limited time. Really, really cute. There are, let's see here, 75 dots. They're not awfully thick. So if you look at them, they look like they are very high, but they're not very high. So they'll go through the mail really nicely. So I'm always on the lookout for that. And then the designer series paper. Okay, the designer series paper is absolutely stunning. Let me tell you what the colors are. The colors are Balmy Blue, Blushing Bride, Crushed Curry, Evening Evergreen, Night of Navy, Polished Pink, and Soft Succulent. So beautiful. It's kind of It's flowery. I'm not gonna lie, it's flowery. The designer series paper, this piece, you can use the die to cut out these flowers here, as well as these flowers right here. So the polished pink and the blushing bride flowers. The rest of these you could absolutely fussy cut out, but the die works with those two specifically. So let's go through the rest of it. So pretty. And this one I feel is very Christmassy. That could be a very Christmassy page. And then the backs are more just a nice pattern that you could use for a lot of different things. I love the balmy blue with the evening evergreen and the night of navy. Oh, so pretty. And the soft succulent on the back. That flower pattern, but just smaller. Nice. This is more of a masculine, I feel like. The balmy blue and the evening evergreen. This I feel wintry on this one too. Even though it's not traditional Christmas colors, I do feel wintry on that one. Love that. A nice polished pink. A nice polished pink, I should say. And then the blue and the evening evergreen flowers again. And then a nice gingham pattern with the evening evergreen. Very cool paper. So let's get into making some cards. First card I'm going to make is actually a Christmas card. So I'm going to be using the Framed and Festive. So let's pull out some supplies. I'm going to be using cherry cobbler, which is not part of the designer series paper colors, but I feel it's more Christmassy. So I've got a piece of cherry cobbler, 8.5 by 5.5, scored down the middle at 4 1/4. I've got 2 pieces of basic white that are just basic panels. One is, or both of them are 4 by 5 1/4. And then a piece of the designer series paper. Remember this one I said was very wintry, I felt. So I've got this, and that's at 3.75 or 3 3/4 by 5. I've also got some distressed gold paper, and this comes from this actually comes from the annual catalog. So this is available yet also. So let's get creating, huh? I'm going to put my red aside and my middle aside for now. I'm going to take this piece of designer series paper and I'm going to actually color all of these white berries. They're beautiful white, but I'm going to change it up just a little bit and take my cherry cobbler blend. And I do believe this is my dark cherry cobbler. And I'm going to color the berries in. I actually did color in the leaves also, just to see what it would look like. I think I used soft succulent. No, I didn't. I used balmy blue. I used light balmy blue. It looked really neat actually to color in the leaves also. Gave it kind of a different kind of pop. I just don't want to do all of that in front of you. So I'm not gonna. So I'm just going to color in the berries. Don't be afraid to go in and change up your designer series paper. If it is not what you are, if it's not exactly what you want, go ahead and change it. Remember last week when I did the sand? My son used my crafting table for homework and he dumped my sand. And so every once in a while, I'm finding a little grain of sand. And I swear, it's kind of like glitter or the backs of our dimensionals, right? It kind of creates this mess that just gets everywhere. And now I've got sand everywhere. It's okay. It's a hazard of crafting and I can handle it. Super simple coloring too, right? Just kind of do the outline and fill it in. Doesn't that change the look of this designer series paper though? To change it to the red berries. Oh, I think it's so fun. The white berries reminded me of wintergreen though. I don't know if that's what... I think wintergreen has white berries if I'm not mistaken. What do I know? A little bit of berry there. Okay, so that is going to be our background. Okay, but first let's start cutting out some ovals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this oval, and then I'm also going to use this oval. And I'm going to cheat a little bit, okay? So I'm going to cut this out of the middle. I'm going to use the stamp that says, let's see, should we use "'Tis the season to be jolly" or "May this season be filled with peace and joy"? I'm going to do "May this season be filled with peace and joy," just because I like it. And I'm placing my die here just kind of so I can see roughly where I want to stamp. It won't get in the way. And I'm just tapping because remember, we don't need to press hard on our ink pads. So just straight down and straight up. Beautiful. That's all my stamping right now. I may put a sentiment on the inside. I just got a new cherry cobbler ink pad. It's stiff. Okay, here we go. So let's do our thing here. So I've got to do a sandwich for cutting. We've got our plate number 1, our plate number 2, and then 2 plate number 3s. I'm actually going to flip this over because it's starting to get I'm going to try to do both of them at the same time. I'm just going to center this like that. And then I'm going to take my gold. I'm going to cheat a little bit. There. I'm going to put my gold right here, just like that. Okay, and so now I'm going to put my other plate number 3 on top. And I am going to put that through my cut and emboss machine. All right, so I went right through. Oh, so nice. This is a scrap, and this is a scrap. So now I'm going to use this part of the oval. This part I will save for another project some other time. Set that aside. And now I'm going to use both pieces of this as for my project. Okay, and we've got a few little pieces left in there. They pop right out. I could put my brush on the end of my take your pick tool, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to, there's not that much to poke through. So let's just, and they are really loose. I mean, the cut and emboss machine really does cut really, really well if you've got the right sandwich. So, okay, so there's our beautiful frame. Set that back aside. Okay, so let's build our card here now, huh? Got our 8.5 bar cherry cobbler, 8.5 by 5.5, scored down the middle, 4 1/4, fold and burnish that. I am going to put that on. Oh, you know what? I had a plan. Look at this. I'm going to put white behind that. That's why I went 4 1/4. So make sure when you do it, see I've got a little spot here that's going to show. That's okay. It's okay. Nobody will really notice that. Or if you really want it covered up, just trim just a smidge off. Here, let's do that. Let's trim just a smidge off. By a smidge, I mean like a 1/16. Let's see here. So I'm going to go just like that. And now I can center it better because I did get over too far when I cut that. There. What do you think of that? Beautiful. Okay, so let's attach that. I was thinking something just didn't seem right. Got my seal. And now I'm just going to attach that down. Just like that. Beautiful. Stuck a little bit. Excuse me. I've got just a touch of a little cold and it's driving me crazy. Okay, so I'm going to attach that. Isn't that gorgeous? Those colors are so beautiful together. Let's put that down. See, nobody's going to see that. Nobody will know. just like that. So pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to pull out, I cleaned my desk off and I put my silicone sheet away. I'm going to pull out my silicone sheet just so that I don't get glue on my desk, on my working station here. I'm going to put just a little bit of liquid glue. You don't have to go crazy. And the frame actually has enough like thicker spots that you really can adhere it nicely with just the just putting it in the on the four corners, I guess is what you'd call it, even though it's an oval and they doesn't have corners. You're picking up what I'm laying down, right? Okay. So let's put that right down on here. So pretty. So really, you wouldn't have had to color the ones that you were covering up, because that's going to be covered up. But I guess I didn't think of that while I was coloring. I was just coloring. So now I'm going to layer this gold right inside, just like that. That'd be pretty. Okay, so I'm going to bring my liquid adhesive back in, my Tombow glue. Excuse me. It gets worse when you talk, right? That whole tickle in your throat. Just a little bit of adhesive. Ooh. Just center it in there. Just like that. And that's why I like to use liquid adhesive too, because now it gives you a little bit of wiggle room, right? So pretty. And now let's put some dimensionals on the back of this. Put one more right in the middle. Take those off. All right, and then this can go, you know what? I did it backwards. Can I get it off yet? Can I get it off yet? Cross your fingers, everybody. Yay for Tombow glue. And realizing, I'm telling you, man. I'm going to stick that up. I'm going to bump that up. That's what I want to do. I really know what I'm doing. I promise. Let's try it again. Let's put some Tombow glue on here. Ay, ay, ay. And now let's put this on here. That's gonna oh, isn't that so much better? Oh, so much better. Don't let it stick down. There. Huh. Man, I got there. We got there. I think that that's beautiful. I'm not going to adorn that anymore on the outside because I think it would be too much. To add any more sentiments, or not sentiments, any more like embellishments or anything like that. I am going to stamp on the inside, so may your season be filled with peace and joy. I'm just going to stamp Merry Christmas on the inside. Actually, I'm going to do two stamps, Merry Christmas and From Our House to Yours, because I think that'll look nice inside. So we're going to open up our cherry cobbler again. Let's pull in Evening Evergreen. I'm going to do Merry Christmas in cherry cobbler, just like that. And then I'm going to do From Our Home to Yours in Evening Evergreen. Oh, that's cute. That makes up for me doing this backwards, doesn't it? Oy, oy, oy. Okay, let's get those out of the way. I love the look of the Evening Evergreen with the Cherry Cobbler. Cherry Cobbler is probably my favorite red anyhow, just because it's so deep and so beautiful. But the Evening Evergreen with it, I think is so rich looking. There is card number 1. So there's the dimensions if you want to take a screenshot. Pretty simple. And these ovals make fancy cards so easy. So, all right, let's do card number 2. Card number 2, I'm going to use the Designer Series paper on. And it's going to be a pretty simple card. I'm going to be using Night of Navy ink. I've got a piece of polished pink, 5.5 by 8.5, scored down the middle at 4 1/4. I've got a piece of basic white for the inside, 4 by 5 1/4. All of my panels here are balmy blue, 4 by 5 1/4, and then this piece of Designer Series paper, excuse me, that is 4 by 5 1/4. And I really like pretty much all the papers in this pack because we can do this style of card with it. I love those corner fold cards, you know. I love it when the Designer Series paper is so beautiful that you can use both. You don't want to hide either side of it, right? So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to fold and burnish our card, our polished pink. And on this one, I didn't want to put polished pink up against polished pink. A lot of times I'll just do a corner card like that, but I want this balmy blue to stick out just because I think I like the way that it looks. But I'm going to cheat here just a little bit first. I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to take my punch of my sentiment out of the part that's going to be hidden. So let's decide which sentiment we're going to use. Put these back. Let's see here. I think I'm going to do Wishes for a Beautiful Birthday. I do like this Thank You with All My Heart, but I'm going to do the Wishes for a Beautiful Birthday. I like that one. So let's grab a block. Okay, and I'm going to stamp it in Night of Navy right down in this corner. Beautiful. I can close that up. And now I'm going to take, this is my decorative circle punch. It's a nice big sentiment that's just beautiful. I love, 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 love this font. So cool. Okay, so now I am going to attach, it's going to line right up. It's the same size, right? I'm just hiding that, and I wanted to be able to see this balmy blue up in the top corner. So, oh, here we go again. Where's my adhesive? We should play a game. Where is Mandy's adhesive? You just never know. All right, and so I put a little piece right there also. I'm going to stack them together like if you were putting your paper, you know, while you shuffle it together. Just like that. Okay, and then I'll fold this piece back. And I don't necessarily need it to be exactly square or anything like that. I just wanted it to fold this so the pink is showing because I think it's so beautiful. Okay, so let's put some adhesive on our blue panel now. And I have a friend who calls this my Minnesota card. I just chuckle every time she says that because she says it looks like I've folded it. Sometimes I've done it where I've folded both corners back, and that's what she calls my Minnesota card. I just like this corner fold design because I like seeing both sides of the paper, and this color combination is so pretty. So what I'm going to do is take a dimensional, and I'm going to stick it right in the corner here and just put that right down like that. So now I'm going to take my wishes for a beautiful birthday, and I am going to stick it on here. So I'm going to put a dimensional here, here, and here, and then right here I'm going to put a glue dot. Okay? So just make sure you got them on the right spot. So there, there, and there. And then we need a glue dot. Those are my teeny tiny glue dots. I would like a bigger one, please. There we go. Okay. So just like that. And now I wanted to do just a little bit more, so I'm going to take a piece of vellum, and this is just a scratch piece of vellum that I had. And I'm going to cut out all three. I think I might only use two, but I'm going to put that on my cut and emboss machine and just cut out some leaves. Let's squish it down there, right? All right. So, got a couple pieces of left over from the last one. Okay, so I've got plates 1, 2, and 3, 2 of the 3s. And then I'll put another plate number 3 on top. Here we go, and I will run it through. They come off so pretty. Vellum's a little tougher to run through. I don't want to say tougher, it just sometimes doesn't cut as nice. It's more delicate. That's what I'm trying to say. It's more delicate. Sometimes the voices in my head have to catch up with the voices or my mouth. Oy, oy, oy. Okay. That one didn't work out as hot as these 2 little leaves did. So maybe we'll just use the 2 little leaves. And I don't even mind that the insides are left in. The insides were designed to come out, but it didn't cut through as nice. I probably should have came back, like rolled it back. This one of them came out, but that's okay. It kind of gives us a little bit of different, a little bit of interest. So what I'm going to do is just, let's see here. Use a glue dot. I'm just going to use a glue dot. And I'm not putting the whole entire thing down. I'm just putting part of it down, like the bottom part. So I'm putting the glue dot way at where the stem meets the leaf, if that makes sense. And then I'm tucking that part underneath my sentiment. So you can't see that. Just like that. So that adds just a little bit of interest. So cute. And now I'm going to take some of my my gems that come with the suite, which I think they're pretty gems. They are really pretty. I'm going to put 3 of them right up in the top corner. I'm going to come down in a line with them. And like I said, these are pretty flat, so they'll mail pretty nice. So you don't have to be too worried about that. All right, just like that. So there is the outside of my card. Get that out of the way. Let's put a sentiment on the inside. And I love that there's some sentiments you can use. Wishing you a beautiful birthday. Just a little reminder that you are loved. That would be a good one. Just celebrate. That's a good one. So lucky to call you friend. I think I'm going to do celebrate. One more block. Straight down, straight up. Perfect. All right, let's put that in here. All right, so there is the inside of our card, and there, if you'd like to take a screenshot, is the dimensions for that card. So these are my 2 cards for tonight, and I just want to go through and show you a few other designs that I've made using this suite. So we'll start with the stuff that is all from the suite. So kind of just, I used the different pieces of designer series paper. I thought it was a nice, for a special person on a special day, wishes for a beautiful birthday. So there I just flip-flopped the sentiments. This one here, I love those colors. Thank you with all my heart. Instead of using the oval, I used I cut rectangles. Very simple stamping. This is just all straight cuts. So here's another one like the one I made before, just different colors, same kind of design. This one here I thought was a lot of fun. Stuck with the colors, Soft Succulent, Night of Navy, colored some of the flowers that were in, that I had stamped. Heat embossed the white, Thank You with All My Heart. So I heat embossed that. Really a fun card there. And then here is a book fold card. So Wishes for a Beautiful Birthday. I combined the two. I cut out 2 of these. Actually, the blue center here was this blue center. So I had just used this over here, right? The center of it. So I was left with a white. So I've got some white frames sitting over here from the cards I've made that I'll use for other projects. But this is a nice book fold card, or book binding card. So that's there. And then I wanted to go out of the box with the flowers. So I've got some different colors here. I actually stamped on some basic white paper and then colored it with fresh freesia and evening evergreen, and then daffodil delight. So just a little bit different kinds of cards there. So lots of options with this suite. So I'm gonna flip around here and say goodnight. It is deer hunting weekend here in Minnesota. I am not a deer hunter anymore. I have deer hunted in the past. I just sit in the deer stand and think, I could be doing so much more stuff, like crafting and making cards. So that's my plan for the weekend. I hope you get some crafting in too. I hope you have an enjoyable weekend, and I will not be here next Friday night, but I promise I have a video already made that I'm going to upload. I'm going to a Stampin' Up event in Indianapolis. Oh, we're taking a road trip. There's 7 of us locally that are going to be taking a road trip from central Minnesota out to Indianapolis. So I'll be sure to put some fun pictures and stuff like that on my Facebook page. So follow along on there. Otherwise, I will see you again next time. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.